Hello. We use AI to create short stories based on the lore of Warhammer 40,000 using information we feed it. We then use another AI to turn them into short audiobooks. Note these are not canon, and in many cases stray away from the lore altogether. All rights and credit to references used are given to Games Workshop. Enjoy.
Book 3, Assassinorum. In the darkest depths of an industrial hive world, Agent Kale, a Vindicare assassin, perched atop a crumbling rooftop overlooking his target's location. Clad in shadow-black armor, he adjusted his optic enhancers, scanning the bustling streets below with an icy gaze. His mission, to eliminate a high-ranking heretic who threatened to destabilize the fragile peace within the Imperium. Patient and disciplined, Kale awaited the perfect moment to unleash death's whisper upon his unsuspecting prey. Agent Kale, a Vindicare assassin, was a veteran of countless missions, honing his skills and reputation with each successful operation. He possessed a stoic demeanor, his face concealed beneath a sleek helm adorned with the symbol of the Officio Assassinorum. Kale's unwavering dedication to his duty was matched only by his meticulous preparation. He meticulously studied his targets, researching their habits, weaknesses, and potential bodyguards. A master of disguise, he could seamlessly blend into any environment, adopting various personas to infiltrate the enemy's ranks unnoticed. Behind his cold exterior, Kale harbored a relentless determination to protect the Imperium and bring justice to those who threatened its survival. As Kale patiently awaited the opportune moment to strike, he meticulously analyzed the target's surroundings. With keen observation, he assessed the security measures in place, identifying potential blind spots and vulnerabilities. He utilized his advanced binocular implants to scan the target's known associates, noting their routines and possible connections. In the depths of his mind, he formulated contingency plans, anticipating any unexpected turns of events. Maintaining absolute focus, Kale mentally rehearsed his approach, visualizing every step of the mission with unwavering precision. With each passing moment, his anticipation grew, yet he remained steadfast, a shadow in the urban labyrinth, waiting for the perfect opening to execute his lethal dance. Perched on the crumbling rooftop, Kale surveyed the sprawling hive city that stretched out before him. The air was thick with the acrid scent of industry and the constant hum of machinery. Dilapidated buildings towered over narrow alleys, their once vibrant facades faded by time and neglect. Neon signs flickered in the distance, casting an eerie glow on the dimly lit streets below. The city buzzed with activity, a melting pot of diverse cultures, desperate souls, and criminal elements. Kale's vantage point offered him a panoramic view, allowing him to observe the chaotic tapestry of life while remaining hidden in the shadows. He noted the patrols of local enforcers, the occasional drifter seeking shelter, and the unrelenting flow of humanity. Amidst the urban sprawl, his target's fortified residence stood as a bastion of privilege, guarded by layers of security systems and vigilant sentries. It was a challenge that only fueled Kale's determination, for he knew that within those formidable walls, his mark awaited his inevitable fate. As Kale's sharp gaze surveyed the target's fortified residence, he received an encrypted message through his neural implant. Decrypting it with precision, he discovered that his target was not just an ordinary heretic, but a high-ranking member of the Inquisition, a revered and feared organization within the Imperium itself. The revelation sent a chill down Kale's spine, for it meant that his mission carried even greater weight and complexity. The heretic inquisitor, known as Silas Draven, had somehow fallen from grace and delved into forbidden knowledge that threatened to unravel the very fabric of the Imperium. This unexpected twist added an air of trepidation to the task at hand, but it also fueled Kale's resolve to ensure that justice was served, no matter the cost. Silas Draven, the heretic inquisitor, was not merely dabbling in forbidden knowledge, he had immersed himself in dark and forbidden arts. Through his twisted experiments and unholy pacts, Silas sought to unlock the secrets of immortality, defying the natural order and challenging the authority of the Emperor himself. Within the fortified residence, hidden chambers resonated with the incantations and rituals of forbidden sorcery. Silas had gathered a cult-like following, drawing upon their devotion and life force to fuel his sinister pursuits. His actions posed a direct threat, not only to the stability of the Imperium, but to the very balance between the physical and warp realms. The weight of stopping this heretic inquisitor's madness now rested heavily on Cale's determined shoulders, his resolve hardening as he prepared to confront a foe steeped in darkness. As Cale lined up his shot, his finger gently caressing the trigger, a sudden tremor jolted through the city, rattling the buildings and shaking the ground beneath his feet. The source of the disturbance was unknown, but it sent waves of confusion and panic throughout the hive. The chaos that ensued was unexpected and threatened to disrupt Cale's carefully planned operation. Amidst the turmoil, a massive explosion erupted from a neighboring district, billowing smoke and debris into the air. The distraction was enough to momentarily draw the attention of Silas Draven's guards away from their posts, creating an unexpected opening for Cale. With split-second decision-making, Cale recalibrated his aim, adapting to the evolving circumstances, ready to seize this opportune moment amidst the chaos and uncertainty that now engulfed the city. The explosion that rocked the neighboring district was no mere accident or act of nature. Unbeknownst to Kyle, a shadowy rival faction within the Inquisition had uncovered Silas Draven's treacherous activities and launched a daring assault on his stronghold. Their operatives, equipped with advanced weaponry and arcane artifacts, infiltrated the compound, setting off a chain reaction of explosions strategically placed to cripple Silas's defenses. The ensuing battle between the rival Inquisitors and Silas's cultists unleashed a cataclysmic clash of psychic energies and forbidden sorcery. Lightning crackled through the air, ethereal flames danced, and reality itself seemed to warp under the strain of their unleashed power. In the midst of this explosive maelstrom, Cale witnessed a rare spectacle, an unexpected confrontation between two factions of the Imperium, both fighting for their own vision of justice, while he, the Vindicari assassin, prepared to execute his lethal precision amidst the chaos. As the smoke and debris began to settle, an ethereal aura permeated the air. Through the haze emerged a detachment of Grey Knights, the Emperor's incorruptible warriors, and the Imperium's most elite psychic defenders. Clad in their resplendent silver armor and wielding weapons blessed with the Emperor's own power, the Grey Knights stepped into the heart of the battle with calculated purpose. They were the ultimate bulwark against the forces of chaos and the bearer of the Emperor's will. The Grey Knights swiftly assessed the situation, their psychic senses piercing the veil of chaos with ease. Recognizing the danger posed by Silas Draven's heretical rituals and the ensuing clash, they swiftly moved to intervene, engaging both the rival Inquisitors and Silas's corrupted followers. Their psychic might and unwavering faith turned the tide of the battle, the warp-infused energies bowing to their pure and disciplined will. Cale, witnessing the arrival of the Grey Knights, recalibrated his strategy. The opportunity to eliminate Silas amid the chaos now took a back seat to the greater threat. His objective shifted to securing valuable intel from the chaos-infested battleground, a task only he, with his stealth and precision, could accomplish. Adjusting his position, he slipped through the shadows, skillfully evading the clashing forces and maneuvering towards the heart of the conflict, ready to seize vital information that could help unravel the dark secrets Silas Draven had sought to unearth. As Cale skillfully weaved through the chaos-ridden battleground, his movements swift and silent, he believed himself to be undetectable amidst the clash of rival Inquisitors and the Grey Knights. However, unbeknownst to him, Silas Draven, with his heightened perception and corrupted psychic abilities, caught a faint glimpse of the assassin's presence. Silas's eyes, once filled with madness, now glowed with a malevolent intensity as he focused his attention on the elusive figure slipping through the shadows. Sensing a threat to his grand design, Silas redirected his cultist's attention, issuing whispered commands that hinted at a hidden force hunting within their midst. With a twisted grin, Silas unleashed his own psychic prowess, sending tendrils of dark energy to probe the shadows where Cale sought refuge, determined to root out the intruder and eliminate the threat to his diabolical plans. As Silas Draven focused his attention on detecting Cale, the Grey Knight seized the opportunity to exploit his distraction. With a seamless coordination that spoke of their unparalleled discipline, the Grey Knights launched a precise assault on Silas's cultists. Bolters roared to life, unleashing hails of silver-tipped bolts that found their marks with deadly accuracy. Nemesis force weapons cleaved through the heretics' defenses, disrupting their dark incantations and nullifying their blasphemous powers. The Grey Knight's psychic might intensified, shielding them from the tendrils of Silas's dark energy while amplifying their own abilities. Their relentless advance pressed the heretics back, gradually surrounding Silas and cutting off his escape routes. With each passing moment, the Grey Knights closed in on their primary objective, to vanquish the heretical Inquisitor and cleanse the taint of chaos that had engulfed him. As Silas Draven found himself cornered by the encroaching Grey Knights, his eyes flickered with a mixture of rage and desperation. Realizing that his grand plan was on the brink of crumbling, he tapped into the forbidden powers that had corrupted his very being. With a guttural incantation, Silas unleashed a surge of warp energy, causing reality to warp and twist around him. A shield of swirling darkness enveloped him, deflecting the onslaught of Grey Knight attacks and siphoning their psychic energies. Silas, empowered by the forces he had dared to meddle with, retaliated with a devastating display of psychic might. Waves of malevolent energy surged forth, lashing out at the Grey Knights and disrupting their coordinated assault. His eyes burned with an unholy fervor as he fought tooth and nail to preserve his existence and continue his quest for forbidden knowledge, determined to either escape or take as many of his adversaries down with him in a cataclysmic blaze of chaos. Kale, undeterred by the chaos unfolding around him, seized the moment to take his shot. Finding a vantage point amidst the tumult, he steadied his aim, his enhanced senses honed to perfection. With measured precision, he squeezed the trigger, his finger applying just the right amount of pressure. The high-powered projectile soared through the air, its trajectory guided by Kale's unwavering focus. In that crucial instant, the outcome of his mission hung in the balance as the bullet raced toward its intended target. The bullet surged through the chaotic battlefield, its path cutting through the haze of smoke and flickering energy. The air crackled with residual psychic energy, creating an eerie backdrop for the bullet's swift flight. It maneuvered through the twisted remnants of shattered architecture, its trajectory skillfully adjusted to navigate around obstacles and evade stray bolts of energy. As it traveled, time seemed to slow, allowing the bullet to witness the tumultuous clash of powers. A tableau of psychic aberrations and unleashed energies unfolded before it, an otherworldly dance of light and darkness. The bullet's surroundings shifted from the charred remnants of walls to the ethereal fluctuations of warp energy, a surreal canvas that captured the essence of the battle between order and chaos. The air itself seemed to hold its breath, anticipating the outcome as the bullet closed in on its destined mark. As the bullet neared its target, Silas Draven, consumed by the maelstrom of battle, caught a glimpse of movement amidst the chaos. His senses, honed by dark powers, detected a glint of light, a flicker of something hurtling towards him. His attention momentarily diverted from the Grey Knights, he focused his gaze on the oncoming projectile. Time seemed to stretch as his mind processed the imminent threat. A sinister smile crept across his face as he recognized the telltale signs of an assassin's strike. Silas, his senses heightened by his tainted powers, began to twist the fabric of reality around him, attempting to deflect or divert the bullet's trajectory. His corrupted will clashed against the unerring path of the projectile, a battle of wits and powers commencing between the Vindicari assassin and the heretic Inquisitor. Silas Draven, his dark powers surging through him, tapped into the chaotic energies of the warp in a desperate attempt to alter the bullet's path. With a surge of his will, he twisted the fabric of reality around him, creating a distortion in space that momentarily disrupted the bullet's trajectory. The bullet veered off course, deviating from its original path. But Silas's control over the warp was imperfect, and the diversion was not as significant as he had hoped. The bullet grazed against the edge of Silas's shield, narrowly missing its intended mark. However, the deflection caused it to lose some of its momentum, altering its trajectory and creating a new challenge for Kale to overcome. As Kale observed the bullet's altered trajectory, his instincts kicked into overdrive. He swiftly adapted to the changed circumstances, recalibrating his position and re-evaluating the new challenges before him. His steely determination remained unwavering, his focus unbroken. With a swift, fluid motion, he readied himself for the next opportunity, adjusting his position to ensure the best possible angle for his next shot. The setback only fueled his resolve, heightening his senses and sharpening his aim. In the midst of the ongoing battle between Silas, the Grey Knights, and the forces of chaos, Cale prepared himself for another precise and calculated strike, determined to fulfill his mission and bring down the heretic Inquisitor once and for all. As Cale took aim, his finger gently squeezing the trigger, a sudden and unexpected event unfolded. At the precise moment of release, the machine spirit within his weapon, a venerable relic of the Officio Assassinorum, stirred with a life of its own. The centuries-old mechanism, infused with ancient technology and a hint of the divine, rebelled against its wielder's intent. The weapon emitted a low hum, and a flickering energy field enveloped the barrel, altering the bullet's trajectory once more. The shot that was meant to strike true veered off course, guided by the unpredictable whims of the machine spirit. Cale's eyes widened with a mix of surprise and frustration as he witnessed his meticulously planned shot thwarted by an unforeseen supernatural intervention. The intricate dance between fate, technology, and the human will played out in an instant, leaving Cale to reassess his approach and adapt to the ever-changing circumstances that now surrounded him. As the bullet's trajectory was unexpectedly altered by the intervention of the machine spirit, it found an unintended target amidst the chaotic battlefield. The projectile, driven by a combination of fate and chance, struck a prominent figure amidst the swirling melee. The bullet found its mark in the form of a high-ranking member of the rival Inquisitor faction, a powerful figure who had been orchestrating their assault on Silas Draven's stronghold. The unexpected turn of events sent shockwaves through the battlefield as the prominent Inquisitor crumpled to the ground, the impact of the bullet taking its toll. The unintended target's demise added a new layer of complexity to the already convoluted web of alliances and conflicts, leaving those around to scramble and reassess their loyalties amidst the sudden loss of their influential leader. The bullet's fateful strike would undoubtedly have far-reaching consequences, altering the course of the battle and the ultimate fate of those involved. As the high-ranking Inquisitor fell to the ground, a mixture of shock and fury overtook Silas Draven. The unexpected turn of events disrupted his plans and fractured the cohesion of his followers. Seething with rage, he channeled his corrupted powers, unleashing a tempest of chaotic energies that surged outward in a torrential wave. Bolts of dark lightning crackled around him, and his eyes glowed with an unholy radiance. In a twisted display of his growing mastery over the forbidden arts, he directed his wrath towards both the Grey Knights and Cale, unleashing a barrage of psychic assaults that strained the limits of sanity. Vengeful and determined, Silas fought with a newfound ferocity, his once calculated and methodical demeanor replaced by a wild and unrestrained hunger for revenge. The battle reached a fever pitch as Silas, now consumed by his own dark powers, waged a last-ditch effort to preserve his existence and complete his sinister agenda, regardless of the cost. In a moment that seemed to stretch beyond time, Cale, undeterred by the unleashed chaos and Silas's torrential onslaught, steadied himself for one final shot. The battlefield seemed to fade into the background as his focus narrowed solely on his target. The air crackled with anticipation, as if holding its breath in anticipation of the impending climax. With an unwavering resolve, Cale summoned all his skill and precision. The echoes of battles past whispered through his mind, guiding his aim. As his finger gently pressed the trigger, a profound silence fell upon the war-torn surroundings. The world seemed to hold its breath as the bullet surged forth, propelled by the force of Cale's unwavering determination. The bullet soared through the chaotic maelstrom, its path illuminated by the flickering energies surrounding it. Time seemed to slow, the swirling currents of battle frozen in suspended animation. It was a moment that transcended the mortal realm, a convergence of skill, fate, and the indomitable spirit of the assassin. And then, in a burst of sublime drama, the bullet found its mark. With pinpoint accuracy, it pierced through the maelstrom, and struck Silas Draven directly in the heart. A palpable shockwave rippled through the air as Silas staggered, his dark powers faltering for an instant. A look of disbelief crossed his face, the veil of arrogance shattered in an instant. The dramatic impact sent reverberations throughout the battlefield, momentarily quelling the chaos. Time resumed its relentless march as Silas clutched at his chest, his eyes widening in realization of the mortal wound he had sustained. The echoes of his malevolent laughter were replaced with pained gasps as his body succumbed to the inevitable. In that singular moment, Cale's bullet had delivered its decisive blow, ending the reign of the heretic Inquisitor. The weight of his mission, the years of training, and the sacrifices made in the name of the Emperor culminated in this dramatic climax. As the battlefield erupted in a symphony of victory and the forces of chaos faltered in the absence of their fallen leader, Cale stood as a beacon of unwavering loyalty and lethal precision, his name forever etched in the annals of the Vindicari assassins,